Virunga is extremely important for many reasons. It's biologically the most valuable park in Africa. It has the highest number of species of birds, reptiles and mammals for any park in Africa. But also it's a park that has three taxa, three types of great apes, and there's no other park, no other protected area in the world that has that.
Moi, pour moi, quand on dit que le parc de Virunga c'est un patrimoine mondial, je ne me retrouve pas, je ne sais pas ce qu'il rapporte à la population, à nous la population. Si le parc pouvait ne fût-ce que faire bénéficier de la population, soit des études des enfants, soit donner de l'emploi aux enfants qui sont chômeurs, parce qu'ici presque tout le monde ne travaille pas.
We have to sensitize people, so we have to talk each others, just showing them that taking care of animals, taking care of this environment, it's very, very important, and there is much value which they can get from this environment.
The park is surrounded by some of the densest human populations, and they have very considerable needs. It's an area that has been impoverished by years of political unrest. Those communities and their economies need to be revived, and more recent pressure, which is of very great concern for the future of the park, is the issue of petrol. There is a belief that there are large oil deposits under the park.
Si on pouvait utiliser le pétrole pour améliorer les conditions de vie de la population, ça pouvait avoir un impact. Mais nous, on se demande si on va extraire le pétrole, est-ce que ça va servir à nos populations? C'est ça la question qu'on se pose.
Sasa watakuwa natosha petroli. Asa basi utakuwa unaviona. Watakuwa natosha petroli viko nafikiria kwa Ulaya.
Mineral extraction, the oil industry can be very positive if it's extremely well managed, but it's a very sensitive industry because if you look at examples elsewhere in Africa, you get very strong examples of poor practice with catastrophic results where very little is returned to the local economy in the long term, and there is enormous environmental damage, and so it compromises other forms of industry that could have developed. So obviously tourism is one, and although the situation is extremely difficult at the moment, that can change very rapidly, as it did a few years ago when we were able to relaunch tourism and demonstrate that it can be possibly one of the greatest job creators in this region, and be the initiator for all sorts of industries that revolve around the tourism activities that the park can offer. And that's an extremely important example because it creates a young generation of Congolese who are highly qualified with long-term careers ahead of them, and that's real development.
L'entreprise Soko est en train de dire qu'elle va embaucher la population locale, mais elle utilise les gens d'ailleurs. D'ailleurs, dans l'exploration du pétrole ici, nous n'avons pas de spécialistes. Ce qui veut dire concrètement qu'on n'aura pas à embaucher la population locale parce que nous n'avons pas de spécialistes dans cette matière-là.
Bo maisha yangu ni peshe. Maisha yangu mimi naiganyaka hivi sasa tunaona sawa leo gisi bo park mimi naona inatatusaidia kuchunga bahari. Lakini watu wanaharibisha tu mazingira. Basi habitupendeze na sie vinatukwaza. Sibitaki kabisa vile vya soko. Wakatuambia sasa sasa watakia tusha pale petroli. Tutenda wapi?
At the end of the day, it's for the Congolese people to decide if they choose to take the direction of the extractive industries at the expense of the park. That's their decision, it's their right to decide on their future. It's our job to do everything we can to convince them that it's worth investing in a sustainable industry that's tied to the long-term survival of this national park.